Dick Kerman. I'll be joined by Eric Shack in the booth, Bob Laundry on camera for tonight's big match. Actually, this game's playing Sunday afternoon between Nantucket and Blue Hills. We're in the pregame show. Remember, the pregame show is brought to you by Harbor Fuel. Each and every game, Harbor Fuel donates $100 in the name of the game's MVP to a general scholarship fund that helps the cost to defer higher education when they go off to college. Harbor Fuel Oil Corporation, over 30 years of dependable service. They're down on Sparks Ave, 228-2411. And with me today is a little scout. Sometimes we call him a spy, joining us from that other island that plays football once in a while. And our good friend and our former player, Jason Tillman. How you doing today, Jason?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Good. Y'all over here to see what Nantucket's doing today?
Actually, we're here for Blue Hills. We're gonna check out Blue Hills and then probably see what Nantucket has. Scout them a little bit. But basically here for Blue Hills. We had them first and then Nantucket.
So Blue Hills, is Blue Hills next week or a couple weeks down the line?
We have Blue Hills in, I think it's 3 weeks. We have a game against Southeastern next week, and then we play, I believe it's O'Colony, then Blue Hills.
And Nantucket, not on your mind at all. Is that what you're saying?
They're always on the mind. We always have them in the back of our mind, but it's one game at a time, and see how it goes, and then Nantucket.
Now, you played, your last year playing football was in '94. You were the fullback for Vinny. You were a 3-year starter, weren't you, Jason?
Actually, I was a 4-year starter. I played just defense, and actually my first game at running back was against Nantucket my freshman year. And didn't carry the ball much, but that was my first year of running back.
Now, you were quite successful. You're 2-2 in your 4 years versus Nantucket in that period of time?
Yes, it was. 1-1 there, 1-1 on our island. And yeah, had some good rivalries with them. They're a great team. Vito coaches very well, and it was some good times.
Now, big game yesterday. I was quite surprised in the score. Not so much surprised that Vineyard knocked off BP, but a 20-0 score sort of surprised me when I heard it. Vineyard play real good yesterday, or was BP not that good?
Actually, the Vineyard defense played real well against them. The weather wasn't the greatest, but we both had to play in it. We played excellent, I believe. I caught all but the first quarter. BP fumbled on their own 1-yard line. We picked it up, scored on the next play, and our defense just shut them down. They had a total of 51 yards, total offense that game.
Now, the beginning of the year, Vineyard coming off a big 12-0 year last year. A little bit of discussion on it, whether they'd come back again. A tough loss, I believe, Old Rochester, and then there seemed to be a lot of starters not in and a lot of injuries. What was happening at the beginning of the year this year for the Vineyard?
We lost to Old Rochester 7-0. They're a great team. They're predicted to win their league. The Vineyard, yeah, we started out the season starting quarterback Mike Snowden. He was out for the first 2 games. He actually came in the Old Rochester in the second quarter. And against West Bridgewater, he missed the whole first half because of a knee injury and came in and sparked the team to victory. And just came from behind, basically, how it was.
Well, Nantucket has a big game here today versus Blue Hills. They lost to Blue Hills last year to sort of set the tone for the year as far as Nantucket was concerned. And then we lost to that other island team, I think sometime in November.
Yeah, I was here. I watched some of the game last year, actually, here. And what I noticed, they weren't shifting on defense. Blue Hills is unbalanced. And talking to Vito before this game, and we talked about that a little bit. But I believe Nantucket's ready for this game. They looked ready. They looked pumped up. I feel they're going to win this one.
Yeah, Nantucket has had a good week of practice. I stopped by it a couple of days, and this group of kids this year seems to be a much more coachable group. Vito really likes them, and I think they're doing a lot of things he wants them to do out in the field.
Well, this is the first game I get to see of Nantucket this year, and I got 3 more actually to see of them. And I'm not exactly sure what they have. I've listened to every game on the radio that they have, and they sound real good. Gardner, their running back, sounds like an excellent running back, and he sounds like he's a tough kid.
Okay, Jason, we know you got to get to work. We thank you for coming on, and just take a lot of notes on Blue Hills today, and don't worry about Nantucket. You have plenty of time to see them again.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, I'm worried about Blue Hills right now, so that's who I'm going to look forward to, and I hope it's us in Nantucket coming down for the championship again this year.
Sounds good to me. Goodbye, Jason.
Bye.
I'm going to swing the camera around in a few minutes and pick up Eric Shaka and Chris won a little pregame, but while Bob is shooting some of the action on the field, I'd like to mention all our sponsors who brings you today's game. Killen Real Estate, Bob's Auto Repair, Harborview Oil Corporation, Valero & Sons, Hutch's at the airport, Congdon & Coleman Insurance, Young's Bicycle Shop, Nantucket Island Pharmacy, Pacific National Bank, Division of Bank Boston, Atlanta Cafe, Island Parcel Plus, J.M. Ramos Incorporated, Don Allen Auto Service, Fairgrounds, Inquirer and Mirror, Seagrill, Nantucket Bank, AK Diamonds, Arnold's, 41 Main Street, Something Natural, Nantucket Nectar, and we just had a couple of cases of Nantucket Nectar coming. Eric must have been fooling around in the warehouse or something to get this much brought here. Peanut Bus Lines, Thrifty Car Rental, National Car Rental, Island Airlines, and we scooted over from the island this morning on Island Airlines, Sweetwater's Christians. Channel 3 had a nice meal at Christians the other night. Quality Inn, Nantucket Airlines, who had a nice special running today to get the people over here to the game, $35 round trip. David Gowacki Construction, Downey Flake, Carsten came over this morning. He was responsible for help getting the ball bag over here. The team thanks Costa for that. R.J. Kalman and Sons, Butch Ramos Plumbing and Heating, Jeff Beamish, Barone Plumbing and Heating, The Sports Locker, Cook's Cafe, Chris Fraker Construction, Nicholas Farentella Landscaping, Nantucket Tile Man, Boynton Builders, Swain's Travel, Howell and Sons, Geronimo's, Arrowhead Nursery, Gray Lady Marine, Frank Sylvia Antiques, Rose and Crown, Schooners, Milestone Electronics, J.A. Cooper, Plumbing and Heating, Inglis Trunk Show, Yates Welding and Gas, Chip Hart and Associates, the Nantucket Golf Club, Island Spirits, Kane's Custom Millworks, Nantucket Rental, King Electric, Sun Island Delivery, Marine Home Center, Nantucket Lightship Baskets, Santos Rubbish Removal, Ron DeSilva, who asks you to support your local Boys and Girls Club, Kitchens and Baths, A Cut Above, Island Lumber, Orange Street Video, Island Carpets, Davis Flooring, Suzanne's Hair Design, Nantucket Electric Company, the Booster Club, who meets every Tuesday night. This will be tomorrow night if you're watching this, 7 o'clock, room 18, in Mid-Island Pizza. We thank all these fine sponsors for bringing you the fall season. We'll have some field hockey and soccer coming up next week. But now we're going to ask Eric Shaka to come in the booth as he guzzles up his Nantucket Nectar, and he's going to talk to Chris Warner a little bit about this game.
Thanks, Dick. Chris Warner here from the Inquirer and Mirror. We are here at Mass Maritime for the Blue Hills game. And Chris, this is a game we hope you can all see this. Chris, this is a game that the Nantucket Whalers lost 14-6 last year. What do you think about this year?
Yeah, I think it was a 14 or 12-6, one of those just by a touchdown. I think this year Nantucket's going to be a lot more prepared. They've taken the time the coaches have taken the time to get a very close scouting report. Also, I don't think from the scouting reports that Blue Hills has the same combination of speed and size that they had last year. Last year, a lot of size and also some quick running backs. This year, they have a couple of good running backs, but they haven't really been able to show the same kind of power that they had last year, which took Nantucket by surprise a little bit, I think.
Well, what also took them by surprise last year was the unbalanced line that they used. Didn't recognize it throughout the first half. Some of the coaches were mumbling about it, and some of the players were coming off confused because the matchups weren't as they had seen in practice, but nobody really said anything until halftime, and it really cost them last year.
It really did. That was the difference in the game. After the half, Blue Hills did not score, but Nantucket couldn't mount any kind of a comeback. That's the kind of thing that Coach Hickey's been around for. This is his 26th season for Blue Hills, and the type of thing that Nantucket really has to look out for this year and see if they have any more tricks up their sleeve.
And last year we had to name the coach Vinny the winner. Is there any of the residual effect of our predecessor at the Inquirer and Mirror, Jeff Taylor's column of 3 or 4 years ago?
I don't think so. I think one thing where Coach Hickey has triumphed is the fact that he has in some ways taken away the Nantucket home field advantage. This year is supposed to be Nantucket's home game, and they will have more fans at this away game as they always do. But you look at the fact that this game would have been played yesterday in the rain, for better or for worse. And you have to look at timing. Is getting prepared for that Saturday game going to take Nantucket out of it early? Really don't know. So again, what he was looking for was a neutral site. He got it, and we'll see if it works in Blue Hills' favor this year.
And one of the things we did have an advantage for, as well as the Blue Hills kids, as the SATs were yesterday. So therefore, it's a lot of stress. I remember a couple years ago against Southeastern when Sports Illustrated was there, and we had a tough time in that game. And it was because of the SATs. They went till 2. The kids were running around the field for a long time. So hopefully that'll help them. Prediction on the game?
I think Nantucket is going to come out strong. I think if in this wet field, with the new blitzing package they put in, if they can keep Blue Hills under control, they'll be able to, if not shut them out, limit them to 1 touchdown and be able to put 4 or 5 on the board themselves.
I'm saying 21-7 Whalers. How about the Pats game? Pats Chiefs?
Well, it will already have happened by the time this airs. The pressure's on. I think the Pats are going to be able to pull it out. Similar situation, wet, but I think being on the grass and practicing on grass is going to help the Patriots a little bit. I say Pats 24, Chiefs 17.
Thank you, Chris Warner. I&M, the only island newspaper you need to read. Thank you.
Okay, we thank Eric and Chris, and thank you for being so nice to Vin Hickey, because this tape is going to be subpoenaed and brought before the Mayflower League from all to listen. Those people must have a lot of time in their hands that they can sit around and listen to our Channel 3 tapes in the middle of winter. They have to get a life up there. Okay, this is Dick Herman. We'll be back with the toss of the coin in a few moments. Okay, we're getting ready here for the toss of the coin. You can see the captains heading out there. We see Captain Joe Hallett, number 61, and Captain Alex Trebby, number 14 for the Whalers. On the Blue Hill side, the Warriors, we see big number 71, Jim Spalding. He's a 320, 6'6" tackle, and a running back, Chris Jordan, number 48, and one of the guys the Whalers really have to watch today, number 12, Jeff Dossey. And Eric, last year, a little heartbreak loss here for Nantucket, but I think Nantucket is ready to turn it around this year.
I think that Vito was probably the most depressed after the loss last year that I've seen him in my short time on Nantucket. He hasn't lost that many times since I've been there either, but very deflated team. They'd gone into this really, really wanting to win. Huge rival. Obviously not as big a rival as the Vineyard, but certainly their second biggest rival, I'd think, Dick. And again, they really want to rectify that, as you always do every time you go out to play, Saturday or Sunday, as the case may be. But big game for the Whalers, and they want to go to 4-0.
Yeah, I would like to say that this toss of the coin, which Nantucket won, by the way, and we'll be receiving Blue Hills giving Nantucket the ball, and Nantucket's also going to have the wind in the first quarter. Very interesting. The toss of the coin is brought to you by Nantucket Airlines. Remember, Nantucket Airlines is offering the $35 round-trip shuttle Monday through Thursday and on Saturdays. They were offering it a special for the game, but the game was on Saturday, canceled over to Sunday, but they did offer it. And Nantucket Airlines, for any reservations, give them a call, 228-6234. Very interesting. How do you think that came about, that Nantucket's going to get the ball in the win? Blue Hills kicking off into the win here. You know, Nantucket could get excellent field position right off the bat, Eric.
Well, perhaps a cunning plan by Vin Hickey, perhaps just an oversight. We're not sure. But
usually when you have a situation where you want to go on defense, you make sure you get the win so you can pin them way back there. I just heard the official saying, my mistake, you're kicking, so that's it. I was really surprised if Nantucket was going to get the ball and the win. The official made the wrong call. So the one time this year, the one time in the last decade that we're on for the toss of the coin, the official fouls us up, so we still don't know who's receiving and who's kicking, Eric.
Well, Nantucket is going to kick. They're going to kick with the wind behind them. And this field, Dick, this game was postponed yesterday because the field was not in the best conditions after the rain that's been lasting for a few days here. But today it looks great. Very dry looking from here, and a lot of grass out there, not a lot of bare patches.
Yeah, Channel 3 was up here yesterday. We come up a day earlier, and actually the canal, Eric, if you look out at that canal out there, the water was coming right over those cars, and the waves are breaking on about the 25-yard line. So it would have been tough to play here yesterday, but the waves have gone down, the canal has settled down, and some of those cars, I think, cannot be moved because they were actually there during these high-breaking waves yesterday afternoon.
I don't even know how to respond to that because it's so ridiculous. But they're having trouble.
This tape is going to be subpoenaed by the MAII, and it's going to be shown at the Mayflower Lodge annual convention this winter up at Taunton, Massachusetts, Lake Winnipesaukee, wherever they go in the winter.
they're having trouble getting the ball to stay on the tee, so they will have a holder for the kickoff, which is allowed if the ball falls over twice. There's the third time. It just doesn't want to stay up there.
Yeah, this wind, which we haven't spoke too much about, could be quite a factor. It's blowing in Nantucket's favor right now, but it's a cross breeze blowing from left to right, going away from the booth. So we'll see where this kick goes. Pretty good kickoff in the wind. Nantucket has a new kicker this week because Martin got hurt last week. And a good return there by Moses Curry. This is one of the guys Nantucket has to watch. Moses Curry, he's their main guy running the ball. And when he's in the game, he should get the ball most of the time, Eric.
Yeah, line drive kick to Moses, and he bobbled it a little bit, but held on and gets out to the 35-yard line where he's gang tackled by a host of Whalers. So 1st and 10 on the 35.
The Hills will take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
That kickoff was brought to you by Pina Bus Line, the official carrier of the Nantucket Whalers. And actually it's on the 36 here. Nantucket will be going 1st and 10. I mean, Blue Hills will be going 1st and 10. Nantucket going to watch Darcy and Moses Curry. Hand off to the fullback, ball almost taken away from Captain Chris Jordan there, running into some strength on the Nantucket side of defense. Not a play Blue Hills going to get a lot of yardage on.
No, they really got stuff there on the right-hand side of the Whaler defense, and they'll be dropped for about, well, they're going to come up with about the same field position as they started, lost about a foot.
Yeah, they're calling it no game, but he actually lost about a half a yard there, maybe a foot at the most. But the ball is off the thing. 2nd and 10. Look for Curry to get the ball now. Unbalanced right, they're coming back left. Darcy keeps it, a lot of room, and he turns the corner, and he's going to pick up a 1st down. Finally brought down across the 35. So this time Blue Hills goes unbalanced left, Eric, and comes all the way back right. Sort of fooled Nantucket, got some good blocks on the corner.
Yeah, they fooled him. Everyone from Nantucket went to the side with the extra man on it, and everyone was moving to the Whalers' right, and around they came the opposite side and get a big pickup. Almost broke it free for a touchdown, but Nantucket managed to stop them at the 35, their own 35.
35 to the 35. That's a 30-yard pickup, a good chunk of yards here. Not what Nantucket wanted to give up on 2nd and long. I think they overshifted towards the unbalanced. They have to watch that. Two theories is you don't shift towards it, they run towards it. You do shift towards it, and they run away from it. Unbalanced right this time. Actually, it's straight line this time.
Straight up this time, and oh, the ball almost popped out, but
yeah, Blue Hills, Jordan on that one, and Curry on the kickoff and on that run, both not holding the ball very tight. Darcy's the only one that held it pretty tight here. I think Nantucket can go after the ball here, maybe get a fumble.
Well, they're swarming towards the ball, and there's so many blue shirts around it that one of these plays you expect it might pop out, and the Whalers could have a big defensive play.
We're in the first quarter. Portions of the first quarter are brought to you by Valero & Sons, Garden Center, 60 Old South Road. Give them a call, 228-2397, Valero & Sons.
So we're going to have a timeout, Blue Hills, with 8:12 to play in the first quarter. No score.
So I think that was a call from the sidelines. Blue Hills looked like they were ready to run the play. Maybe Coach Vin Hickey on the sideline saw something he didn't like in the formation or in Nantucket's defense, and he called the timeout. Blue Hills got the ball inside the 35, down about the 33. We were working 2nd and 8, going into a little bit of wind, so not the good passing situation we're looking for, but they will put it up here if they have to. But I think they're going to come back with Darcy again. They have to try it again, make sure Nantucket can stop that play. They must have that in the back of their mind. Remember, this timeout brought to you by Pacific National Bank, Division of Bank Boston. Available mortgages are available, fixed rate, variable rate construction, first time home buyer, jumbo and land. Pacific National Bank, banking excellence since 1804. For any information on mortgages, give them a call at 325-7998. Also, portions of this first quarter brought to you by Bob's Auto Repair. For appointments, give them a call, 228-1239. A little straight eye here. Darcy Nantucket's running the 4, and then they run the
A
option.
little pitch out, and great tackle.
Beamish.
Beamish closed so quickly on that play, and he got the tackle.
I thought Curry was going to turn the corner myself, Eric. I was sort of speechless here. I thought he was going down the sidelines. Beamish comes up, and that's a touchdown-saving tackle. Beamish doesn't make that tackle. Moses does go down the sidelines.
Well, not only did he close quickly, but he wrapped him right up, and great play by Beamish.
Ball on the 30, 3rd and 5. 4-down situation here for Blue Hills. They're going with the eye again behind Dorsey. Motion coming back to the right. Oh! Broken play. And Nantucket had that play smelled out. They were going to run the option play, and that's one of the best ways to stop an option play. Crash into the fullback, make him become a blocker, and
Forward pass, bring up 4th down.
oh, they're going to call that a
Called that a
forward
pass. He kind of shoveled it out to the right, and we couldn't really see from up here, but
He looked behind to me, but that's not the way the official on the field saw it. It actually goes to Blue Hills' advantage because they would have lost 2 yards where Curry got tackled. So Blue Hills is not going to argue that. 4th and 5. Let's see if they throw their first pass of the day now.
they are passing, and it is incomplete. So Nantucket will take over at their own 30-yard line. 7:15 to go in the first quarter.
So Nantucket defense does an excellent job, except for that one run by Dorsey. They pretty much hold Blue Hills to 4, 5, 6 yards on the 5 other plays, Eric. You can't ask for more out of your defense. 1 yard per play. So except for Dorsey's one play, now Nantucket's going to have the wind behind them. 7:15 to go. Coach Capizzo is a coach that uses the wind a lot. Look for him to put the ball up early in this one and see what he can get from Trebby. Oh, looked like he had the interception and dropped. They try to get Fraker out here all alone.
That throw was not that pretty.
No, you're throwing. You know, the wind is going anyway, but as we said, the wind is blowing to the Blue Hill side of the field. And they had Fraker on the Nantucket side of the field. I'm not sure Fraker even went back into the huddle on that. I think he just came out here, and they tried to spring him down the sidelines here. And it looked like they were going to throw the ball to Farentella, who was open 5 yards down.
Vito's calling for a timeout. I think they have a little confusion as to who should be on the field. But that ball might have slipped out of Trebby's hand, too. That one was kind of wobbling almost end over end and not very accurate. So with the wet field, you might expect that.
Broadcast of these programs is made possible by Nantucket Bank. Nantucket Bank is committed in the support of all school athletic programs as a vital component of our children's education. Community support is a tradition at Nantucket Bank. And Eric Shacker here guzzling down his Nantucket nectar, and he a little surprise here. Good stuff. Chris Warner's on his 4th bottle right now.
Actually,
I thought we we're going to have to carry a lot of that back to the island with us if it's offered, but Chris is going to have it all drank before we get headed back for the plane and boat.
Dick, I brought some cases up from Boston, from Cambridge this time. This is we're drinking our new fall harvest line.
Fall harvest line. Are you part of the harvest?
No. Fall Harvest is a line of apple ciders we have. Sorry for mercilessly plugging this, but it's a pretty good drink. It's apple cider. We have peach, cranberry, and regular apple cider. And being the PR director at Nantucket Nectars, I have to squeeze that in.
Okay, Nantucket only picks up 1 on that, so it's going to be 3rd and 9. I don't know, do you go back to the air here again? You almost have to. Blue Hills had the play covered last time, almost got the interception out of it. Blue Hills is working a 4-man front, sort of like a Nantucket defense, a 4-4-3, but they bring those linebackers up tight, so it can look like a 5 or 6-man line at any time. They're in there tight, and Trebby's back to pass.
Take the handoff, and not a good pass again by Trebby.
This time trying to go to Farentella for the first down. Overthrown. Again, the wind is playing a lot of havoc with that ball as Nantucket's trying to throw to this side of the field, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And with 6:22 to go, 4th and 9, Nantucket has to punt it away. And last week, Eric, at home, we had a little problem with punts on both sides of the team. Both teams fumbled their first punting attempt. Let's see if Frankie gets this one off okay. Good snap. Kick is away. Good punt.
Pretty good kick. It's going to go over his head.
Excellent kick. All the way back to the 16-yard line.
And Whalers closing quickly. Good tackle, and they are down at about the 26-yard line.
Chris Jordan on the return. Mickelson on the tackle for Nantucket.
Hunter Mickelson with a good tackle at the ankles, and they'll have a 1st and 10 from the 31.
After Blue Hills fields that punt, and that was the captain, Chris Jordan, he decides he wants to go left, but he can't. He comes back right. One blocker there gets the first man, Roberts, but Roberts gets up, gets involved in it, and Mickelson brings him down.
Excuse me, it's a 1st and 10 from the 27 of Blue Hills.
So we've been told that punt covered 55 yards, Eric. Not bad for a high school.
Thanks for that, Sandy Beach.
Moses Curry on the carry.
Gets out to the
I got that off the ticket tape here.
Beats and Fraker on the stop for Nantucket.
Franking in on another tackle, but Moses Curry gets what you want out of your first down run, 5 yards. Anytime you can get 5 yards out of your first down run, you're in good shape. Brings up 2nd and short. All your options are available now, run or pass. Blue Hills has the only first down of the day.
Okay, so unbalanced to the left, and the ball goes straight down the middle. Chris Jordan is tackled after a gain of about 2.
Yeah, Blue Hills using Chris Jordan. Nantucket has him pretty well sniffed out. But you have to give it to him a few times, so they're not going to be keying in on Moses all the time. Let's see what Dorsey's going to do here. 3rd and 4. He doesn't pick it up here. They're going to have to punt the ball away. If they do, it'll be the first punt into the wind. Still 4:40 to go here in the first quarter. 0-0. Balance line. Here's the running the option again. Gives it to Curry, and he's going to be close, but not there. Well, let's see where they spot it. It's going to be very close, within a foot. Now they're going to have something to think about, Eric.
Yeah, they're going to have about a yard to go.
It's going to be very close. They might have to measure this. It's going to be within a foot. They're going to bring them over anyways. We're in the first quarter. Portions of this first quarter brought to you by Valero & Sons. 60 Old South Road, Garden Center. Full line of Mason supplies. Stop out to Valero & Sons. Open Monday to Saturday, 7:30 to 5. Important measurement here. Nantucket would like to see this one come up short and have Coach Hickey make a decision. And it's going to be shot by about a foot. Let's see if, actually it looks like it's shot by about 3 inches, Eric. I couldn't see the referee pick up the ball there, but as he puts his hands on the chain, he's going to mark it 3 inches. We're going to better look at it now as he puts it down out there.
It baffles me. How do they know where the ball started from so well? They can't measure 10 yards. It's so funny when they bring out the chains. It's 3 inches. They know for a fact that it started exactly where they measured it from.
Well, they want to keep everybody happy. And what you're saying is these white lines should be every yard going all the way across the field, right? We'll have 100 white lines. Is that what you want up there? And they're going for it, so a big play here for the Nantucket defense. They stop him here. Oh, and he fumbled the ball! He fumbled the ball! Let's see if Nantucket got the fumble.
It's not really going to matter. They're going to have a first down going
First down,
either way.
So Blue Hills opts not to punt the ball into the wind. So there's the wind factor. We don't know if it played a decision, but it certainly looks that way now. Doesn't want to punt the ball into the wind. Wants to pick up the 3 inches. You can't pick up 3 inches going into the wind, Eric. That's
No, so good sort of a fortunate play from the Whaler defense, and now Nantucket's going to have it on the 36 of Blue Hills, and the carry picks up about a yard.
Number 25, Chris Gardner.
That was a
The ball
big
carried
theme
for Nantucket,
last
gain of 2 on the
game.
play.
No So the yes, Eric Shack is out of the loop here. You were up in Boston last week during the game, Eric. You gonna make any island games this year?
I was trying to pick up the game on the Channel 3 satellite network. BLT, Bob Laundry Television, and that was not possible. No, I'm going to get out for the Vineyard game, I hope, this year.
Good. Come up and say hello to us in the booth.
Actually, I will be on island 2 weeks from now for Nicole Grant's wedding.
Big hole there. Roberts gets through and he picks up about 5. Good blocking on the line there by Hallinan Gawacki. When's the great photographer for the Inquirer Mirror getting married?
2 weekends from now, 2 weeks, Saturday. I believe it's a Saturday. I have to check with Julia on
October
that one.
24th.
She's got my calendar.
Julia runs your calendar now, huh?
But best wishes to Nicole and Chad. That should be fun. We'll see you there.
So 3rd and 5. Nantucket is in 4 downs territory here now. They like to pick up the first down. They haven't had one yet. Pitch to Gardner. They got that play covered, and they get Gardner in the backfield. Chris Gardner has been running wild, Eric, all year long. He has the hat trick in all 3 games. You saw one of them.
Well, with all the publicity he's been getting in the papers, not only Nantucket papers, but throughout the state, the Globe had some things on him. People are really going to key on him now.
Yeah, Gardner had 162 yards last week with his 3 touchdowns. The unique thing about it is Nantucket has scored 27 points in all 3 games, so you got to feel they're going to score 27 today. But right now, Blue Hills is making them work for it. Nantucket's going for it, 4th and 6. They're looking to pass. Gets it to Fraker, dropped. No, they're going to say he caught it.
Oh, well, that,
No, they're going to say it hit the ground.
It did hit the ground. That was not a catch. The Whaler bench very upset, but I could see pretty clearly from here that the ball did squirt between his hands, and
I saw it come out of his hands. Did it come out of his hands and hit the ground?
Yes, it did.
Nantucket 0 for 3 in the passing here early.
Ruled incomplete. Blue Hills takes over 1st and 10 on the 37-yard.
So Blue Hills will be taking over 1st and 10. 2:14 to go. Nantucket would like to have a quick stop here. They'd like to see Blue Hills punt into this wind once before the quarter changes here. Let's see if they can get a quick stop. Last week, Bob Laundry referred to the wind on Nantucket. Nantucket actually used a couple of timeouts in the first quarter, Eric, to make Central Falls punt into the wind, and it paid off.
Well, they've used one already, but they're going to have the chance to perhaps do that again. And, big hole on the left side.
And Curry might have had a first down on that. Moses Curry coming back to the short side of the field.
They're going to give him a first down on that.
10 yards, good enough for 1st down.
So 2 first downs in the game, both of them by Blue Hills here early, and that's about a 12-yard pickup before Gardner pushed them out of bounds. We see Bob Baker here for the radio side. You're not working today, Bob? You're just hanging out, huh?
Just hanging out, just took a wrong turn heading to the
Blue
club.
Hills 1st and 10 on the 42
It's
yard line.
beautiful this time of year.
Bob was heading down the Fall River and got lost.
Okay, so 1st and 10 from the 42. 2:07 to go in the quarter. Little confusion in the backfield for Blue Hills.
Yeah, resetting his backs is Darcy. And
No
again,
gain.
Jordan runs about the 3rd time today, and he doesn't have any yards on his carry. Nantucket's stopping him, but they got to find a way to stop Moses Curry on the cutback play. Curry picked up about 12 the last time. We're in the first quarter. Portions of the first quarter brought to you by Bob's Auto Repair. Robert Larrabee, owner, certified automotive technician. For appointments, give Bob a call at 228-1239.
2nd and 10, still on the 42.
And this time Darcy tries to run that sweep, which he picked up 30 yards on, but Nantucket's there. Roberts, Fraker, along with a host of other wheels, bring them down.
Yeah, they weren't fooled that time, and they're going to pick up about 2 on the play.
1 on the play, we got 30.
And what I was talking about, Coach Hickman and his defense calls for a timeout here. He wants to keep the time down. He wants Blue Hills. Blue Hills has to punt this one. 3rd and 9. The ball on about the 37-yard line. They 42-yard line. Sorry, they can't go for it here. They went for it around the same place in the field last time when it was 4th down and about 3 inches. But now it's 4th down and 9 yards. They're going to have to punt the ball. So we're going to see the first punt into the wind. And maybe, Bob, can you pick up the flags here at the far end of the field?
Actually, Dick, it's 3rd down.
It's still 3rd down. I'm sorry. So they have another down to go. You can see the flags blowing across the field. So this is what Nantucket did last week, though. They called 2 consecutive timeouts on 3rd and 2nd and long, so that the Central Falls would have to punt into the wind. And I think that's what Coach Hickman is doing here. If he can get a stop of 5 yards or less, and the clock is running, I think Nantucket will call another timeout here and keep it running, because 119. If the clock was running 119, they could tick off 30 of those seconds right away, and Hickman doesn't want that to happen. So the defense is doing the job here today. Coletti and Farentell, the defensive ends. Lepre and Boynt in the tackles.
Fakes the handoff and goes up top. Oh! Doesn't catch the ball. Perfectly laid out. That one should have been caught. It got tangled up in the feet a little bit, but they're going to have to punt.
Yeah, a little bumping going on there. No call comes out. Nantucket defensive backs here talking it over on who had the coverage there. Gardner came over at the end, and as you said, feet got tangled, but no call came out. Gardner is the safety along with the 2 deep backs, Fraker on one side, Beamish on the other. Linebackers are Mickelson, Roberts, Joey Hallett, and Seitz.
So Gardner's going to drop back to return the punt. He obviously is not expecting much from the foot of the Blue Hills kicker.
Andy
Back
Kavanaugh,
up to 35.
5'5", 140-pound punt. Oh, it's a fake. And they get it out to Jordan, and Jordan gets taken down. Chris Beamish again. 2 big tackles in this game by Chris Beamish.
Again, a big play on the far side of the field. He has got great closing speed.
You're going to tell me now that Vin Hickey's not looking at those flags blowing right in his face over there. 2 4th down situations, 2 non-punts. Eric, go over and bring him some of the nectar. Maybe he needs a little of that apple blossom nectar you brought here. Help yourself, Bob. Bob Baker's here looking at that apple blossom. He wants to have a little of that. Passing. Oh! Jordan Seitz just out and out drops it. 1st and 10. Nantucket trying to complete their first pass of the day here.
Number 33, Jordan Seitz, is incomplete. 2nd down.
Again, a pretty good pass that is not caught. And we'll see if that costs them.
Now, do you pick out these names for nectar, or do you let Julia? Did Julia pick out these names for the new Nantucket nectars?
Actually, that was decided far before I got there.
Up at Buck's office, huh? Did Wink have any input in that?
I have no idea.
Nantucket passing again. Trevi looking downfield. This time Seitz. Oh,
and a good hit.
Jordan Seitz looked like he was going to pull that one in, and Nantucket's gone right to the ear here, and they've decided to use the wind, and I think this is a 4-down passing situation now.
You know, Dick, I bring you a case of nectars, which you begged me for last time I was up here, and the next thing I know, you're sort of mocking my coworkers. I don't know exactly what I can do.
I just love to call their extensions. Hello, you've reached the Buck.
Well, listen, with your first name, I don't think you should be mocking anybody's.
Okay, Trevi looking to pass. Then the Gardner up the middle. He's got a lot of room. Gardner goes out right. He needs one block, and he gets it. Great block by Jordan Seitz. I thought it sprung him, but good backup by Blue Hills. Came all the way across the field, saving the touchdown. But Gardner's going to get it down to the 18-yard line. Nantucket's first down of the day, Eric.
Great run around the left-hand side, and that's what makes him a special player, because they need that play. They aren't able to move the ball at all. They haven't completed, I don't believe they've completed a pass. They haven't been able to run the ball, and all of a sudden Gardner springs loose around the left-hand side, and now they have a 1st and 10 from the 19.
Yeah, that run was set up because of the passing. Nantucket had gone to the air 5 times, a couple of drops. You know, you can't blame Trevi on all of them. A couple of drops out there. Haven't completed the pass. Blue Hills is thinking 3rd down and long. They're going to pass the ball again, but they run the draw play to Gardner. Gardner gets up the middle, gets about 6 or 7, and then starts looking for the outside, looking for a block. He gets a block from Jordan Sykes, which I thought was going to get him all the way down the sidelines, but he picks up enough for the 1st down inside the 20. This timeout brought to you by Something Natural. Visit the new location, Nantucket Bagel Company at 6 Yoga Plus. For takeout, give them a call, 228-6616. Trevi checking with Coach Capizzo again on the play. We're still in the first quarter, 46 seconds to go, and Nantucket's got to give up the win condition here. They would like to get one on the board here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and in this game, couple of scores might do it. Neither team really able to move the ball. And there's the pitch out to Gardner. Cuts back inside and caught from behind, gang tackled after a pickup of just a couple.
So Nantucket takes another timeout here, 39 seconds. They may use up all their timeouts in the first quarter. But, you know, there's a saying, you can't take the timeouts in when you're at halftime. They give you 5, you might as well use them if it's going to help you. Right now, Nantucket feels it's helping them, keeping the wind at their back as long as possible here. It's got them down here inside the 20-yard line. They're on about the 17, 2nd and 9 from the 17.
And they're likely going to want that second quarter to go as fast as possible once they switch ends. So to use them up now.
They won't be calling any timeouts here in the second quarter. This timeout brought to you by the Fairgrounds. Remember, Fairgrounds has early bird specials from 5 to 6:30, including the salad bar, all for $10.95. And Monday Night Football at the Fairgrounds. Fun and food. Come by and watch Monday Night Football, including the Whalers, at the Fairgrounds. 2nd and 9, 39 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Trevi back to pass. And overthrows Jordan this time. Jordan gets set up on about the 5-yard line. Could not hit him.
A little bit of contact down there, but no flags. The Blue Hills DBs, though, getting their licks in just as the ball's coming in, so good play back there.
All right, 3rd and 9. Nantucket's regular extra point kicker is hurt today, Kevin Martin, so we don't know if a field goal is a possibility. We do know they have a backup in Anthony Coletti, but we'll see what happens after this. Nantucket's in the one-back. Fraker coming back in motion right, and they give it to Gardner up the middle, and he's dragging people, and he's not going to make enough for the 1st down, but it's going to make it close enough that they may go to the running play here again. 4th and about 2. 7-yard pickup. And it's going to bring up 4th and a long 2, Eric.
4th down and 3.
Yeah, they're going to go for it here. Look for Gardner to get the carry.
I think Gardner will get it again. They haven't had much luck with the passing, but they're going to give it to Gardner in the draw, and he's not going to make it.
He's not going to make it. There was a hole he saw, and it closed up in a hurry. So Nantucket is going to give the ball back at the end of the first quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter. Matt Boynton, who hurt his leg last week, big tackle, 6'2", 250, gets up from the bottom of that pile limping, and the coaching staff's right out there to check with him, see if everything is all right. And Matt's shaking his head, yeah, he can go. So a very exciting non-scoring first quarter here, Eric. Back and forth they go. Nantucket having the best chance to score. Blue Hills opting not to punt twice into the wind. Blue Hills now is going to have very poor field condition, but they're going to have the wind at their back. So if Nantucket makes a stop, Blue Hills are going to have a chance to kick with the wind at the back. The only punt of the game with the wind at the back was Nantucket, and they got a 55-yarder out of Porter Fraker. Remember, we just ended the first quarter. First quarter was brought to you by Valero & Sons and Bob's Auto Repair. Also, again, Sunday night football and Monday night football at Pudley's Pub Fairgrounds. Game day surprises, free giveaways, 6 different games at once, food at halftime. Catch up to 13 games every Sunday. Come in and watch your favorite team. And my favorite team, the New England Patriots, are playing right now. And there's a TV in the locker room, Eric. We can sneak in there at halftime and see how the Patriots are doing.
Yeah, that game might be turning out a lot like this one. Defensive struggle, both the Pats and Kansas City's team with excellent defenses, but the Pats have, I think the Pats are due for a little offensive explosion. They've played pretty well, but they haven't had that breakout game, and I think Bledsoe might do it this week. The Chiefs didn't play that well on the road against Jacksonville a few weeks ago, and they're great at home, but on the road we'll see.
1st and 10 on the 13. The give is to Moses Curry, and
Moses Curry on the carry.
I also heard an unofficial report that there was a 60-mile-an-hour gust at Foxborough. I can't believe it's that high, but that's what someone said they heard on the TV.
I also heard that, and as you watch this on Monday, you're probably chuckling because you already know the score and the outcome of that game. But I did hear that the storm that is in Boston now is actually the same storm front that was in Kansas City last weekend. And if you remember that, this is true, that the storm that came through on Sunday night for that ESPN game in Kansas City, that Seattle and Kansas City was suspended for a little while they got the field taken care of. Almost picked off.
Hunter Mickelson stepped in front of that and almost had the interception there as Dorsey went to the air. Moses Curry on that 3-yard pickup on the tackle by Hallett. Then right away, Dorsey goes back, and a lot of blue shirts there as Dorsey tried to file it in there, but Hunter Mickelson had the hands on it and almost pulled it in. I think some of the people are having a hard time catching the ball. Look, a few drops here today, so not only is the ball hard to hold on to while they're running, but it's going to be hard to make an interception or a reception. Jordan Sykes has had 3 interceptions in the last 2 weeks, so maybe Blue Hills does not want to throw to his side of the field. And we have a timeout called. Big game was played yesterday. Most Wheeler fans know the outcome of that one. Martha's Vineyard going against BP, and most people talking in the last couple of weeks figured BP was the team to beat, and Martha's Vineyard went into BP yesterday in the rain, in the mud, and beat them 20-0. So that's a real big victory there. I wasn't surprised so much that Vineyard beat them, but I was surprised they beat them 20-0 on the home field. So Nantucket is certainly marking their calendar now for the big meeting in November. People say they're really not looking ahead to it, but if you're anybody from Nantucket, anybody from the Vineyard with any football background, you're always looking ahead to that game.
I know one person who's looking forward to it is Chris Warner. My favorite thing was always having to do the special Vineyard supplement in about a day because you also have that other job as sports editor going on. And the fun thing is having to write about 7 stories, compiling every piece of statistical information you could possibly find, and then laying that thing out in about 12 hours. It's a lot of fun, Chris. You'll enjoy it.
Okay, we're here in the second quarter. 9:15 to go, 0-0. Second quarter brought to you by Island Parcel Plus, business package copy and faxing center. They do everything first class. Give Jim Richards a call, 228-3500. He's out at Reglan Ave. Got to lean out the window to see here, Eric. I don't like this part of the field.
Well, this it's nice for us because it has been a defensive struggle in the middle of the field. He's wide open.
Number 10. Seitz is going to run him down. He's got the speed. And fumbles the ball, but it goes out of bounds here on the 38-yard line. So Dorsey hit Paul Leland, Raynard, a 5'11", 140. I don't know where he came from. I don't know where he was in the lineup. He must have been the split end. How he got that far behind the secondary is a mystery to me.
Well, I think it might have been a misassignment there. He came storming, just sort of almost down the middle of the field, a little to the right, and big pickup, and he caught the ball, which is a plus in this game.
45-yard pickup.
It's perfectly thrown, though, we might add.
Great pass there by Dorsey. So Blue Hills has got the field position back in their favor and got the wind at their back. And back to Moses Curry they go, and this time he picks up about 4 or 5 again on the first down. And so the Nantucket's defense has got to fire up here now.
And we've just spotted the lovely bride-to-be, Nicole Grant. That's not her, Bob. That's a very much younger girl. Nicole's over there.
Well, get back in the game.
In the yellow.
Eric's got weddings on his mind here. Okay, it's 2nd and 6. Ball on the 35-yard line for Blue Hills. Back to Curry they go. Big hole, and couple of good hits. Hal at first, and then Beamish brings him down.
Beamish laid a good hit on Curry, who's a much bigger kid, and you could hear that pop from up here.
Yeah, Moses Curry, he's listed as a 6-foot, 185-pound junior. He runs strong, and Nantucket, look, big hole there, but they hold him to a 2-yard pickup. I thought he was going to get a lot more out of that than he did. Good job by the Nantucket defense. Boynton and then Lepre are the big tackles there. They're going to contend with the captain, Jim Spaulding, on Blue Hill, 6'6", 320. Spaulding is on Lepre. Now
we got a 3rd and 5 on the 32. Big play here.
Looked like they were running the reverse, and the reverse man got taken out. Dorsey makes it work, though. That was a reverse error coming back. And the reverse man got tackled by the Nantucket defense.
Looks like a pretty good spot for Nantucket. That ball's going to be marked at about the 29. Almost looked like he got another yard or two out of it, and they're going to have 2 to go. So great spot for Nantucket.
4th down and 2. Roberts saved them there. Roberts came all the way back, but that was a broken play. The quarterback was looking to run the reverse, and then when the reverse man gets tackled, he just goes out around Dorsey. Dorsey was just standing there as a decoy, and Dorsey really didn't help him to block because they didn't think he had a block. 4th and 2. Give to Curry. He breaks through and picks up the 1st down easily. Big hole there. They ran behind Spaulding. Spaulding uses 320 pounds there, Eric.
Yeah, he got popped too, and he stayed on his feet. He had 3 Whalers hanging off him. And so that's a 1st down. That was right there the biggest play of this half so far.
Yeah, Coach Hickman is alternating Beamish and Seisha in at halfback. They're bringing in the defenses that he wants called. Right now, they really got to play some defense. 1st and 10, the ball inside the 20. Blue Hills has 4 first downs already. Pitch out to Curry on the option.
Wow, he fired that ball to Curry on the pitch out. Curry had to reach up around his face mask to catch it, and that's a pickup of about...
That's a tough play to run with a wet, slippery ball. They did fumble it once, although the officials didn't call it a fumble. They called it a forward pass. And to me, it looks like Moses Curry is picking up a lot of confidence right now. Nantucket's got to give him a couple of good pops here and knock him back for some negative yards. Curry right now feels that he can run forward, and Nantucket's got to stop him. 2nd and 8, ball on the 17.
Yeah, the Whaler defense has been parting in front of Moses so far.
Oh, Curry fumbled it. Curry picks it up on
Between Moses Curry, recovered his own
that ball. That play had 2 mistakes on it. The first, actually not physical mistakes, but field mistakes. The first mistake is that as Dorsey stepped back, he slipped, which caused him to try to reach across the field to give the ball back to Curry, and Curry slipped reaching for the ball. And Blue Hills is very, very fortunate that they cut the ball because Farentella covered Curry. Right now, Coach Capizzo, we can see him out in the field, Bob, is talking with Bob Doherty there. I think he's telling Bob, next time you're on the island, we'll get you a thrifty car. Just checking, make sure Bob knows. Bob will probably be doing the game next week.
Do you think Steve Tenarvish has an ulcer yet from being in cahoots with Vito on the car the car rental business?
Things are closing up though. So Vito, Steve won't have to run the business himself. After the Columbus Day weekend, things are a little bit slow in the car rental business on Nantucket.
I'll tell you what, though, even though we have a 0-0 score up there, this has been a pretty well-played game. I don't think that we've had a penalty so far. Except for the drop balls.
Yeah, no, I can't think of any flags coming out. You're right. As we said at the end of the first quarter, a very exciting 0-0 quarter. As we're saying here, with 4:59 to go in the half, it's a very exciting half, and it's still 0-0.
You took away some of those drop balls on 3rd down, and we have a pretty clean game here. Okay, so the throw on 3rd. Oh, and in the flat, the receiver there, number 3, Andy Kavanaugh, looks like he looked up before he caught the ball. The classic keep your eye on the ball moral to that story?
Yeah, Kavanaugh just swinging out the backfield. Dorsey is just trying to hit him, and he's going to run behind the ends that went down and cleared out. A lot of room there, but Dorsey just doesn't get him the ball. Kind of short there, Kavanaugh, 5'5". You got to keep the ball down low. He can't jump too high for them. And Blue Hills is taking another timeout. We talked about all the rain that we had yesterday. Not too many people know this, but Blue Hills had to take the boat down this morning. The parking lot was flooded, and Bob, can you see this? Here's Blue Hills getting off the boat here at the Mass Maritime dock here.
I think Dick
they
used
took the
this
boat
prop
down
last year.
from the Vinhickey River and right onto the canal. It connects up, and there's Blue Hills getting off the boat here about 10:30 this morning. Blue Hills, the parking lot was flooded, and they took the boat right to the field. You remember that picture, Eric?
I think it was from last year, actually, and we're all very pleased that you brought it out again.
Anything to please you, Eric.
Thank you.
We don't see that much of you anymore. Okay, 4th and long here. You're not going to fool Nantucket with a run and play. Let's see what Coach Hickey comes up with. Field goal. Okay, that's what they call the timeout for. They're setting up for a 35-yard field goal.
And, make sure you watch for the fake. Make sure you watch for a couple other little things here.
Up and wide, so no good.
I think they kind of rushed that one a little bit. It looked like by the time the snap got down, the kicker was on top of it already. He didn't really give himself time to get that ball really set.
Snap was a little bit high, probably about a foot higher than he would like it normally. But as you said, the kicker was coming right into it and didn't get it good. They were kicking, they were doing a lot of practices before the game, so that does not surprise me that they tried that. They do have a field goal earlier this year, so keep that in mind. With 4:50 to go in a tie ball game, 0-0, a field goal looks good.
Gardner gets the handoff inside, stumbles, and he's out to about the 25.
Chris Gardner carries, picks up about 3. Chris Gardner was supposed to be in New York State today, I believe out in Long Island for a college interview, but he had to put that to rest. If the game was played on Saturday, he had an interview for a Sunday, Monday, but Hotwick, is that it? Hotwick, I believe it is. But he had to put that aside for this weekend, and 2nd and 6 after that 4-yard pickup by Gardner. They come back to Roberts.
Roberts kind of pinballed in there, hit his own man, and he's got a pick of about 2.
Roberts and Gardner have been the main running backs for Nantucket this year. This time they're trying to run the ball over McGrath. He's one of the tackles. Joey Howell at the center. Matt Boynton's one of the tackles, along with Brian Gowacki. Gowacki hurt his leg last week. I was talking before the game. I said, "You ready to go?" He says, "Of course." Take more than a banged-up knee to keep him out of a Blue Hills game. Gowacki playing the left guard, right guard. I have a hard time on my left and right. Yeah. Eric shaking his head, agreeing with me.
3rd and 4, ball in 27, drops back to pass.
Tries to get it into Ferrantella, and a little bit behind him.
Ferrantella, had he caught that ball, probably would have been brought down there anyway, so they might have had a 4th down. And we'll see how they go here. Punting into the wind, Dick.
First time into the wind. I doubt if Vita will take a chance and fake it, but you never know. 3:19 to go. If there was a little bit less time than this, he might, but 3:19 is a long time to give Blue Hills the ball here in the 26. Let's look for Porter Fraker to kick, punting into the wind.
They're expecting a fake. They're confused. They don't have anyone back to return the punt, although they probably didn't need anyone back to return that
Doesn't
one.
go very far.
In fact, they gained zip.
Now that goes as a 5-yard punt, Eric. It goes from the marking out to here. So Porter Fraker, 55 yards with the wind, 5 yards against the wind. So now, don't you believe there's a wind factor in this game, Eric?
Dick, I never said there wasn't a win factor in this game.
Oh, it must have been Chris Warner. Let's blame him.
I think you're just living in some kind of delusional wind world.
50-50's coming up. I'm going to have to take a short break, guzzle a couple of nectars, and get some 50-50 tickets.
If we need...
$1 for one, $2 for three, or $5 for nine.
Okay, so 1st and 10 on the 33.
Look at this. I'm getting an arm's length for $5. I might get a... Oh, what a pop here.
Matt Boynton just
No, we're not allowed to clap in the
bursting
booth.
through the line and laid a lick on Moses.
That is the defense that Nantucket needed, Eric. And they got it from Boynton. They needed a wake-up call. Boynton came through untouched and smacked Curry down.
Let's come up this way.
They're on the end.
Okay, 2nd and 11.
That fired up the Whalers sideline. That might be what they need to really make something happen right here at the end of the first half. 2:21 left. A lot of noise coming from this side. Curry caught again.
Yeah, they came all the way across the field, the defense, and stuck Curry that time.
By the left side of the Nantucket defense. Giving up possibly 1 yard on the play, brings up third down.
We got a little extra money in the budget, Eric, this week. A little gas money for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
We know you had to use a lot of gas to get down here from Cambridge, and we appreciate you making the effort.
No, actually, it was nice to come down today. The game against Blue Hills is always a favorite, and I get the chance to see a bunch of people that I don't get to see that often.
3rd and 10 here. Defense, as you say, is really fired up. Darcy looking to pass. Nantucket looking for the interception. Oh, Sights, I think, had that in sight, but Howard comes over and I think knocks it out of Jordan's hand. Yeah, they're talking right now. Jordan's saying to Joey, I could have had that, Joey. And Joey said, I'm going to knock it down if I don't know who's catching it, Jordan.
That looked like those two guys were killing a spike in a volleyball game. They just went up and knocked it straight down. Either one could have caught it.
So 4th and long, no field goal attempt here. And Nantucket would love to take over here. They're a 2-minute offensive team. They'll take over here, and Blue Hills is going to take another timeout.
Timeout, Blue Hills.
Well, that hit by Boynton really sparked the Whalers on that stand there. And with a 4th and 10 on the 33, Blue Hills has a decision to make here.
Yeah, during this timeout, I'd like to say we're all here for your banking needs. At Bank Boston Pacific National, we are proud to provide Nantucket residents with a full line of financial products and services from checking accounts to mortgages. For any information, give them a call, 228-1917. We're coming up to the halftime show, and we're going to have our crack statistician from the Enquirer and Mirror, Chris Warner, the Enquirer Mirror, the only island newspaper you need to read. And Don Allen Auto Service provides the halftime show. Don Allen out at Pulpus Road, 228-0134 for appointments, authorized sales, service, and parts. In Congdon and Coleman Insurance Agency, where they specialize in personal and commercial lines of insurance. Richard James and Billy Congdon down there on Main Street, and I see the Congdon and Coleman building down on Main Street getting a nice facelift, doing some nice work on the brick on the outside. Give them a call for any information on auto, home, marina, business, 228-0344. And again, Harbor Fuel, our great pregame sponsor. Over 30 years of dependable service. Fuel oil, 24-hour service, auto and truck repair, mobile oil, Harbor Fuel, they do it all. And Arnold's down at 41 Main Street. Big 4th down play here for Nantucket. Blue Hills got everybody going out. They got somebody open. Oh! How number 10 got behind Nantucket, I'm not sure. But Nantucket dodged the bullet there.
Scrambled around a little bit and threw it up, and Blue Hills should have had a touchdown.
Yeah, number 10, Paul Renard, just ran down the sidelines. He kept going. What Blue Hills did there, Eric, was put 4 people out to the right, and he just sent them all into that corner. And Dorsey just sort of threw it up there. Whether he's throwing it to Renard or not, I'm not sure. But Renard could have caught in that ball. It was just an out-and-out drop on about the 2-yard line.
And look for, with the wind blowing here, with a $1:20 to go in the half, just for Gardner to pound, and try to get, try to spring something open. And that one goes to Roberts instead up the middle. Pickup of about 3, getting tackled at the 37.
Hands off to number 35, Matt Roberts.
Don't be surprised if Nantucket tries something a little bit tricky here to get something on the board here.
Play, second out of 3.
No timeouts called. I don't know how many timeouts either team gets left. We used a lot of them up. Your turn, Eric.
Well, I would think, the clock's running after that running play, and you think that possibly if they really wanted to get down there for a score, they might have tried to stop it with a throw or something. But we'll see if they put it up. No, they're going to hand it off again, that one to Gardner, and you kind of think that Nantucket might be content just to let this half run out and take your chances with the wind behind you in the second half.
Okay, they're using a timeout here. This could be their last one. We'll see if the official marks it off. It's definitely their 4th, if not the 5th. The officials will be taking account here, and they'll tell us in a moment if that's their last one. If this half ends 0-0, and it certainly looks that way with 32 seconds to go, a lot of your halftime talk gets going with what do you want to do in the second half? I believe it'll be Nantucket's choice. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the wind. I would not be surprised for them to pass up getting the ball in the second half and taking the wind in the quarter they want, whether it's the 3rd or the 4th. That's going to be a lot of discussion on that. Do you want the win right away, try to come out and get a quick touchdown on the board and play defense? Or do you want to come out and play some defense and take the win in the 4th quarter?
Well, it also, if any of the Whaler coaching staff has any meteorological experience, the wind seems to be picking up a little bit, Dick. So that might be a factor, too. If it starts blowing harder and harder, you might want to have it behind your back in the 4th quarter. Who knows?
Okay. They're running the reverse. Frake has got it. Looking for a block. Get out of bounds. And he does. Picks up the first down, and that's Nantucket, by my unofficial count, Nantucket's 2nd first down of the first half.
Put it up for first down.
And Coach Capizzo's not going to sit on it. He's going to pull anything out of the bag he has and look for the halfback pass.
You think the halfback
Don't
pass?
say it too loud. Halfback pass.
See if Gardner drops back. Send Trebby out there to possibly catch a pass.
The old quarterback throwback you're talking about. Okay. Both plays are a possibility. Look for Nantucket to throw it here one way or the other with 22 seconds to go. They're going to run a draw. They're going to fake the draw. And they hit Farentella. And Farentella is down about the 30. Let's see if they get another first down.
They don't have any timeouts left, though. They're going to have to. They're going to have to move the chains and then.
I guess they don't have a first down. Nantucket's going to try to down the ball on the line of scrimmage.
21 yards on the play. Blue Hills tackled by Chris Jordan.
Oh, they're going to run a play. They're going to throw it. There they go.
A lot of confusion there. It took them 4 seconds to down the ball, but at least they get the clock stopped here.
Actually, he threw that ball down with 12 on the clock, so that's a couple seconds ticked off after he touch the ground with that.
Well, the clock guy's right over here. You want to go over and talk to him, Eric?
Maybe I'll bring him a few nectars for the second half.
Bring him over some nectars, saying, "Sir, have some apple blossom here, and give Nantucket back those 2 seconds that you just took off."
Just for all you out there, it's not called apple blossom. We don't have the word blossom in any of our products.
Apple blossom time here in Mass Maritime.
Okay, so Trebby back, and that one's
Wide
thrown
open!
across.
Oh!
Overthrown.
He had sights open there, Eric. Nice pass play, but can't complete it.
So they'll have one more shot at the end zone.
Very fast is incomplete. Turns to number 33, Jordan Sight. Second down, third down is 10.
I believe Nantucket unofficially is about 1 out of 11 on their passing, but again, we'll get some stats here at halftime as we get into the Don Allen halftime show. This should be the last play of the first half. 5 seconds on the clock. Going to the end zone, Franca.
almost picked off, and that'll be the end of the first half with zeros across the board.
Broken up by Moses Curry. That concludes the first half of play.
So at the end of the first half, it is 0-0. A portion of this first half brought to you by Young's Bicycle Shop down on Steamboat Wharf, established 1931. Give Harvey a call, 228-1151. We'll be back with the Nantucket cheerleaders and some halftime stats by the Enquirer and Mirror.
And I think that also
nice, yeah. You're gonna.
It's not easy to see it pretty.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put the camera on you then, right?
No, don't swing the camera.
No,
It's too hard. It's too hard to get it all.
Wait till I pull back, okay?
You point to me, Bob. I'm gonna talk first. Okay, we're here at halftime. It looks like it's getting a little bit clearer out there. The wind is still blowing, though, and I think the wind was certainly a condition here in the first half. We have some halftime stats brought to you by the Enquirer and Mirror, and we have the crack statistician from the Enquirer and Mirror here, Chris Warner, and what have you compiled for us, Chris?
Well, on a game like this, it's really going to be a story of the ground, who does what. And so far, Blue Hills definitely has the advantage. Moses Curry was judged by the Nantucket coaches to be the type of back who had speed, but was not hard hitting, and he has proven them wrong so far in the first half. Curry rushing 12 times for 43 yards. Jeff Dostie, their quarterback, running the option effectively. He has 3 carries for 34 yards, but a big 30-yard gain on one of the first downs of the game. Blue Hills, overall, the passing game has not been effective, but boy, they've missed some opportunities, Dick. Right down over at the canal side end zone. We had a wide-open Renard for what should have been 6 points. So Nantucket a little bit lucky. Defensively, I think overall doing a decent job on the run, but they have allowed Blue Hills a couple of long runs to keep possession of the ball. Chris Gardner for Nantucket, 9 rushes for 38 yards. The big gainer, a 23-yard up the middle draw play, which looked like it was going to get Nantucket into some decent scoring position. Neither team able to capitalize. Passing, on a day like today, it's about what you'd expect. Blue Hills, Mr. Dostie is 1 of 8. That won a 47-yard completion, which got them down close. But then after that, Nantucket's defense seemed to crank it up a little bit. Matt Boynton with a nice hard hit on Moses Curry, and that sent their defense, I think, into what they really wanted to be, which was much more dominant on the ground. Curry again running the ball, getting no yards. Blue Hills ended up trying a field goal, which was wide left. Trevi not doing much better, 1 for 11 on the day. Again, a couple of drops, but he seems to be throwing behind a little bit. A lot of that is wind-aided or unaided, as you want to say. Ending up the half with a 21-yard completion to Vic Ferrantella for a nice gainer there. So Nantucket's showing some good things, seeming to get into a bit of a rhythm, but they're going to have to continue that, and they're going to have to really hold those blocks on the line. Blue Hills has done a very good job defensively, shoving Nantucket's linemen back, and I think the size advantage is going to be there.
Yeah, Nantucket's line is going to have to step forward if Nantucket wants to pull this one out. 0-0. It's a type of game. It's a type of weather condition, and the importance of the game, it could be decided on one mistake or one break, and both teams are certainly hearing that from their coaches now at halftime. The big thing in my mind is I know it's Nantucket's choice because they kicked off in the first half, so does Nantucket want the ball right away? Does Nantucket want the wind right away? Does Nantucket want the wind in the fourth quarter? Those are about the 3 things. Those are the 3 options for Nantucket. Taking the wind right away, taking the ball right away, making sure, you sort of say to yourself, maybe if we take the ball, Blue Hills takes the win and gives us the win in the fourth quarter, we get 2 out of the 3. But you're not always guaranteed that. So you got to really decide what you want. Win third quarter, win fourth quarter, or ball right away. And that's what Nantucket is talking about right now. There's about another minute and a half to go here. Chris Gardner got the hat trick in the first 3 games. Certainly Blue Hills is keen on him, and it shows. Gardner well over 100 yards in all 3 games. I think I saw a stat in the paper this week. He had somewhere around 400 and plus yards, being held way below that average today, only 38 in the first half. But I think he was under 60 last week against Central Falls when he come out with a big second half to gain over 100 yards in the second half against Central Falls. So he certainly has the ability to do it. We saw that on the one run that he did gain the 23 yards on, that he can break it at any time, almost breaking that one. Let's hope that he can do it. We see both teams getting ready here to come out back out in the field. Remember, Don Allen Ford offers a complete line of Ford cars, trucks, and utility vehicles, including the ever-popular Ford Explorer. We thank Chris Warner and the Inquirer Mirror for those halftime stats here. And as we said, the captains will be going out in the field, and we're certainly going to watch that. Cheerleaders halftime show was canceled because the wetness of the field, and they are cheering on the sidelines here. We'll pick them up during a cheer here in the third or fourth quarter here. We see Blue Hills congregating at the left end of the field near the canal. That's the way the wind is blowing, and there was one field goal try towards that end of the field, and that could be a deciding factor here if a team tries to field goal with the wind, and it could end up 3-0. We don't know. It's that type of game. The Whalers here joining us from the right, getting a fine round of applause. Certainly Nantucket has more fans here than Blue Hills for this Sunday game. And we see the co-captains for Nantucket, co-captain Trebby, who's not having a great passing day. And let's hope that Nantucket can get that under control and complete some passes here in the second half. Joe Howard, solid in the middle, solid at center for the Whalers. They'll be going out in the field here. And we'll see. They have the first choice. We'll see what Coach Capizzo has decided. Remember, Don Allen Auto Service, Popus Road, new and used cars, auto repairs, car rentals, front-end alignment. Eric Shacker joining us back in the booth, walking around like Santa Claus, giving out nectars. He even got so much that he was trying to give one to Vin Hickey. Vin Hickey wouldn't accept anything from Nantucket. Eric, how do you feel acting as a Nantucket nectar Santa Claus man?
Well, it's pretty nice, actually, because everyone likes to see Santa, and everyone likes to have a delicious Nantucket nectars. Actually, I was just on the phone with my brother. He's going to be swinging through Boston, so I hope this one doesn't go into overtime because I'm supposed to meet him there at 5.
We see the co-captains going out there. Co-captains are brought to you by Cook's Cafe, open for lunch 11 to 3 weekdays, open for dinner Friday and Saturday. Homemade baked goods on weekends. They open up 8 a.m. in the morning. All right, we see the choices here. It looks like Nantucket's going to give Blue Hills the wind here in the third quarter. So Blue Hills will be kicking to Nantucket, and in my mind, I think Eric, Nantucket's got the best of both worlds here. Getting the ball here in the third quarter and getting the wind in the fourth quarter. That's the way I would like to play it, so I think Nantucket's playing it right to the vest.
Yeah, and as I said before, the wind's picking up just a little bit out there, so perhaps by the fourth quarter, it'll be really gusting in, which would be trouble for Blue Hills as the game closes out.
Okay, so coaching staffs, very important halftime. You know, it's in my years of coaching, going in at halftime with a 20, 25-0 lead is a lot different than going in at 0-0. You know, you really got to get the kids psyched up. We were talking at halftime, Matt Boynton's big hit on Moses Curry, a big plus for the defensive side. Coach Hickman can build on that, saying you can stop this guy, you can knock him back, and let's see what happens here. Blue Hills kicking off.
So Gardner's going to be back to return the kick.
This kickoff is brought to you by Peanut Bus Lines, the official carrier of the Nantucket Whalers. Peanut Bus Lines, located in Osterville, has all your transportation needs for those special events or occasions. 22-passenger minivan available. Peanut Bus Lines. Give David Peanut a call, 508-428-2062. Peanut Bus Lines.
And Beamish in the kickoff mode as well with Gardner.
Yeah, they're getting back close to the goal line. They're figuring that Blue Hills will be able to reach the goal line. The kicker is Andy Cavanaugh. He's not that tall, 5'5", 140. Soccer-style kick. It's getting set up way over here to right, approaching the ball.
Fraker's back too, so there's 3 men back to receive, and
Shot kick, real shot.
thought it might go out of bounds, but Beamish picks it up and cuts up the middle. He's got a little bit of a crease, but he's brought down at about the 29-yard line, so they'll have a 1st and 10 from there.
1st and 10. Good return by Beamish. We see a Blue Hills lineman down on the other side of the field. Now he's up. Big number 76, Alex Jassett, slow getting up. And now we see another, Alex, the same player, tries to go back to the huddle and he falls down. They're going to have to take him out for release of play. The officials will not let him participate in this play in any condition. Jassett was originally down at the point of where Beamish picks up the ball, came back up the field to join the huddle and went down a second time. Coach Hickey has to take him out. And so Blue Hills will be missing one of their starting defensive 11 here. And let's see what Nantucket does here. Nantucket would really like, Eric, to get a couple first downs for 2 things. 1, get some time off the clock, and 2, move the ball up. Last time they had a punt into the wind, they only picked up 5 yards on the punt.
Okay, so Trebby under center. Roberts, Gardner in the backfield. Handoff goes to Gardner. He is tripped up after a gain of 2.
Gardner well below his average, Eric, for running. First half we had him unofficially for 9 carries, 38 yards.
I'll tell you what, though, he can pop one and bring that right back up. We'll see if they are able to do that. Expect them to really try to pound the ball now. You don't think, especially in this 3rd quarter, they're going to put it up much, so he might be able to bring that average back.
Yeah, they're not going to throw the ball now. Trebby is not having a good day throwing the ball, and they're certainly not going to force it into the wind here unless they have to. They're going to try to get Gardner running the ball, and they open up Roberts in the middle. Matt Roberts might have a first down. Matt Roberts, big hole in the middle there as they were keying on Gardner.
Yeah, and on that play, you saw Hunter Mickelson wide right and Porter Fraker in there to block. So only 1 receiver, and they're pounded the ball inside, and they have the first down on the 41.
Yeah, Roberts had about 15 yards and 4 carries in the first half. Picks up a big 9 there. Nantucket, with only 3 first downs, gets one right away here. They've already taken about a minute and a half off the clock, Eric.
Gardner gets it, and he is through. Makes it around, and he's going to go.
Cuts back.
Back inside. Great cutback from Gardner. And
No flags. No flags. 60-yard run for Gardner, and Gardner is up to 100 yards.
so Gardner, as you saw, came down the left sideline, made a great cutback at about the 25, and just waltzes in for the touchdown. And as we said before, he's perfectly capable of breaking a big one.
Yeah, Nantucket set their mind to running the ball, and they set that up nicely. Gardner, Roberts up the middle for the first down, then coming back to Gardner on the sweep, and Chris Gardner, realizing he was going to get pushed out of bounds on about the 20-yard line, cut back, and usually on a cutback, the flag comes out because somebody hit somebody. Everybody's body is turned around the other way. This time, no flags come out, and Gardner easily raced all the way back to the right. He ran about 100 yards to score that 60-yard touchdown. This extra point brought to you by Congdon and Coleman. Trebby Rowland slips and falls down.
So it'll stay at 6-0, 8:31 to go in the 3rd quarter. The referees have yet to throw a flag. We saw a few potential instances where a flag could have come out with some pass interference in the first half. I didn't see any infraction there, but as you said, a lot of times you'll see a block in the back or something like that on a cutback.
Well, the referees know that Nantucket and Blue Hills is trying to keep this game clean, so they're going to do their part. They're not going to throw any flags, so they can say at the end of the game, hey, there wasn't one penalty in the whole game. It had to be a clean game, guys. But anyways, Nantucket, Eric, for the first time this year, went for an extra point non-kicking. Their other 12 touchdowns this year, they went for the kick. They did score a 2-point conversion on a missed center on an extra point, but all other 12 times. Their kicker is hurt today, Martin. He got hurt last week against Central Falls on the last extra point as he was run into by one of the Central Falls defenders. So he has not practiced all week. So they go for 2 for the first time this year. And on the wet ground, Trebby on a rollout That's the Coach Capizzo's run pass option. It looked like he was getting ready to tuck the ball and run, and he slips down.
And the footing had been pretty good up till this point. Not a lot of slipping on the field, but Treby experiences it there. Gonna have to hold the ball again.
Coach Hickman is talking to his defense, saying, "It's in your hands, guys. It's in your hands." Both Simitaro and Coach Hickman talking to. Oh, that does not go 10 yards. That was a missed kick. It didn't go 10 yards. I believe Blue Hills can take it right there, though. The kick only goes 5 yards.
Let's go! Big defense now! Big defense!
So the muff and the kickoff is going to cost the Wheels as Blue Hills is going to start here with excellent field position. 45 on the 45, and with the wind at their back, they may change their thinking now, being down 6-0 instead of in a 0-0 game. Moses Curry, the big ball carrier, 12 for 43 in the first half. He gets the ball right away, and he picks up about another 2.
28 Moses Curry, ball carrier.
He was met by Roberts.
Tackle by Matt Roberts.
Good tackle by Roberts, and Curry only picks up 1 yard.
Play brings up 2nd and 9.
We're here in the third quarter. Third quarter brought to you by Hutch's. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Low prices, quality food. The family restaurant with something for everyone. Hutch's at the airport.
2nd and 9, ball on the 44, 7:51 to go in the quarter.
Here's the pitch to Curry. A little bit of room out there. Moses takes advantage of it for a first down.
28 Moses Curry.
That play's worked pretty well for Blue Hills so far. It gives Curry the time to get a little full head of steam going, and he bursts around for a first down.
Yeah, the only time that play doesn't work is when Dorsey has a hard time with the pitch, which has happened a couple times. When he makes that pitch just before he gets tackled, as you say, Moses Curry has a good head of steam going, and he runs well. That goes as a 10-yard pickup, so Curry adds 11 yards to his carry, so it's the Gardner versus the Curry show here. As both teams are making the yards on the ground in this 6-0 Wheeler lead.
Hand
Hallett.
inside.
Hallett in the middle. Good hit on Curry. And I can't see Blue Hills wanting to give the ball to anybody else. First half, lots of times they gave it to the fullback, Jordan. He went nowhere. It just became a wasted play. Dorsey did have a little bit of luck, but now Curry gets the ball the first 3 downs here of the second half. Blue Hills has moved it down to about the 33-yard line, 2nd and 8. Okay, Dorsey, man in motion. Pitch to Curry. Oh, good tackle by Mickelson. Hunter Mickelson.
Is turning in a great performance today. He's had 3 or 4 big tackles like that.
Excellent tackle by Hunter Mickelson. He busts through and knocks Curry back for a 3-yard loss.
Loss of about 3 yards, brings up a 3rd and 11.
So 3rd and long here.
A lot of
Ball's on
big
the
tackles.
35.
A lot of big tackles in this game, Eric. Hunter adds 1 there. Matt Boynton in the first half. Chris Beamish, a couple good ones in the first half, saving touchdowns. And that's what Coach Hickman wants. He wants the big play of the defense. They made it there. Might force Coach Hickey and Dorsey to put the ball in the air here. They got Kavanaugh. No, Rain had spread out wide right. He could have had a touchdown.
They are going to throw, and in the flat, Curry makes the catch, skips a couple of tackles, but he's brought down at about the 33, about a yard or 2 gain.
So they swung that one out there to Curry. Lepre finally brings him down. As you said, Curry breaks a couple 3 tackles. And
Play brings up 4th and 9.
Put good pressure on Dosty, too. Had to get rid of that ball in a hurry.
definite, oh, they're going to punt the ball. They're going to try to pin Nantucket back deep here, unless it's the fake. Okay, good play by Jordan Seitz. I thought he was going to field that on about the 3. He's smart enough to let it hit and go into the end zone, so Nantucket gets the ball on the 20.
Generally, though, you see the player run away from that ball just in case it takes a bad bounce and hits him. Seitz kind of
Seitz
ran with
yeah,
it there.
Yeah, Seitz stays with it. I'm thinking to myself, he's going to catch that ball on about the 3. Kavanaugh was trying to hit that ball inside the 5 and have it kick out of bounds. It kicks left and goes into the end zone. Big break for the Whalers, getting the ball here on the 20. Still 4:51 to go here in the third quarter. Whalers still going into the win, but they got a running game going now. There's Roberts.
Good run by Roberts. Picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
The Wheeler offensive line coming off the ball nicely, opening some holes for Roberts. Roberts gets him running in the middle. That's going to open it up for Gardner on the outside.
6 yards. Brings up a 2nd and 4.
Good spot for Nantucket. They pick up 6 on the play. 2nd and 4, ball on the 26.
Okay, the ends are, offensive end is Farentella out there. Hallett at center. Roberts again. Going to get close to the first down. The rest of the offensive line tackle Matt Boynton, guard Nick Lepre, and tackle Jason McGrath.
If they mark it there, they're very close to a first down.
Yeah, good spot by the officials on that. Roberts had good penetration, just barely crossing the line at the 30 for the first down and gets knocked back, but the officials give him the forward progress. Look for the quarterback sneak here. 3rd and about a foot. Big first down for the Whalers. They give it to Gardner. He's in there. He gets knocked back. Let's see where they give him that spot.
Looked like
Then he bounces. I thought they knocked him back.
well, with forward progress, they're going to give him the first down. He made it. They knocked him back, and he made it again. But he is across the 30.
But not before the Whalers.
So the Whalers get their 3rd first down in the second half. They only had 3 first downs the whole first half, Eric. Okay, Roberts and Gardner behind Trebby. John Seitz split wide right. Give the off to Roberts again.
Roberts is crushed right at the 30.
They're setting up the option now, Eric. Watch them to pull that out and give it to Gardner going around in. They're trying to get Blue Hills thinking inside. They want to get Gardner to the outside again. 2nd and 9. Only a 1-yard pickup by Roberts there. But they're getting Roberts much more involved in the offense so that the defense has to think about Roberts first and then Gardner second. Throw backfield.
Split. There it is again to Roberts. Up the gut.
Matt Roberts on the carry.
Right now the Whalers feel that they can push Blue Hills off the ball and give Roberts some room up the middle. They're also keeping an eye on the clock, down to 2 minutes.
Joyce makes the stop for the Warriors.
Joyce in on the tackle, but right before Roberts picks up 4 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and a long 5.
Moves the Whalers with the 3rd down and 6. Still 35-yard line.
Whalers are not going to throw the ball here, Eric. They want to keep the clock running, and they want to keep this round game going.
Got loaded up on the left side, but they pitch to Gardner on the right. He is tripped up before he gets the first down, right at about the 36. The Whalers had loaded up the left side of their line and given it to Chris, who wasn't able to get anything going on the opposite side.
Okay, Blue Hills calls a quick timeout. They want to keep it keep Nantucket punting into the wind. 1:32 to go, no chance of the clock running down. Nantucket needs a first down. I don't know, you're in the huddle now, and you say, last time we punted from here, we only picked up 5 yards. Should we run it or not? It's a real tough decision, Eric.
Well, that combined with the kickoff of 5 yards, it's not a very good average for 2 kicks.
No. We're here in the timeout. Timeout brought to you by Arnold's at 41 Main Street, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner daily. Takeout available. Call ahead 228-7001. Also Pacific National Bank, banking excellence since 1804. They're eager to put tradition of excellence to work for you. Give them a call for mortgages, 228-1917. And Nantucket Airlines. Remember, Nantucket Airlines is offering the $35 same-day island round trip, Monday to Thursday and Saturdays. I almost think Nantucket has to punt here, Eric, but it would not be surprised me if they come out and try to go for it, and that's what they're going to do. As we said, they've only picked up 5 yards kicking into the wind before.
Drops back to pass.
Yes! Great pass that time. This time Jordan Stites looks like he's going downfield. He goes out 8 or 9 yards, turns and goes to the sidelines, and as he turned, Trebby just fired it right in there. Big reception for Nantucket.
Stites ran a great route there. He, again, it looked like he was going all the way down. Cut back right at the midway, halfway point, and catches the ball for a big first down.
Roberts nowhere this time.
Roberts, the ball carrier.
But what this has done, Eric, is get Blue Hills to start thinking about the middle of the line. And I think Nantucket's trying to set them up to sweep the corner again. They get Blue Hills thinking in the middle, running Roberts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roberts has run 6 out of the 10 plays the second half here. And wide side the field is left. Let's see if they run the option left now. Fake it to Roberts up the middle and try to get Gardner running down the left sidelines.
Okay, so 2 wide receivers, but they do hand off to Chris Gardner inside.
And they run the draw play, which was very good to them in the first half. They had Seitz and Fraker split wide right and wide left to spread out Blue Hills. Give it a Gardner right up in the middle. Not exactly a full draw play, but sort of a quick one there. It goes for about 6 yards. Good play for Nantucket.
Well, and Nantucket hasn't shown the 2 wide receivers that much, so Blue Hills perhaps thinking pass, and Gardner breaks through for about 6.
So at the end of the third quarter, Nantucket holds an all-important 6-0 lead, and right now they have their offense in good sync. Defense getting a lot of rest, but most of the defensive players play offense anyway, so I don't know what kind of rest you get.
Yeah, in high school football, to say that the defense is getting rest by the offense being out there doesn't really mean a lot, because most everyone plays both ways, and special teams.
If Bob could swing his camera around here, we've thought long and hard, you know, Buck and Wink, you know, we want you to have a nickname up there, so when I call your extension, you can pick up and say Snappy here, so here you go, Eric. Accept this Magno Madness here from Channel 3, and extension 320 up there at Nantucket Nectar now will be known as Snappy as he picks up.
Well, thank you very much. That's lovely. And I will await your call every day.
Some of the contenders was Bam Bam
Bam Bam.
and Sloopy was not good.
Sloopy. Hang on, Sloopy.
But Snappy wins out. Eric is beside himself. He can't talk, Bob.
Yeah, it's quite an honor. Snappy, I like that. Okay, Trebby back to pass.
Oh!
That one's
Thrills
caught.
it in at Farentell, and he catches it. Let's see if they squat it.
Pick up the first down. They do. So 1st and 10 from about the 41-yard line of Blue Hills.
A big throw there by Trebby, and Farentella hangs on to it, and all of a sudden Trebby has hit 2 in a row, and Nantucket is moving the ball. Now they have the wind at their back. They may throw the ball a little bit more here now. They got Blue Hills certainly thinking run. They may pass the ball. One thing Coach Capizzo does is try to mix up the defenses, try to confuse them. Back to Roberts. Turn in the corner. First down. Roberts down to the 20. 20-yard pickup for Matt Roberts.
Ball down by number 28, Moses Curry.
Back on the 50-50.
That's a gain of 15 yards.
Oh, get ready for the 50-50 here.
Down on the 20-yard line.
She just won it.
Winner of today's 50-50 raffle was Beth Mason of Nantucket.
Beth Mason was the winner. Yay, Beth. Okay, more important, Nantucket getting ready to salt this one away here on the 20. Hand up to Garner.
Gardner
Behind
inside.
Roberts.
Chris Gardner on the carry.
He picks up about 5.
All right, line. Work it now, work it.
So Nantucket working the ball down.
And Brad Chambers on the stop for Blue Hills. Gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Okay, so 2nd and 5 ball in the 15, 8:43 to go in the game. Nantucket's holding on to that 6-0 lead. You kind of feel like a touchdown here.
Yeah, another score by Nantucket, whether it's a touchdown or field goal, is certainly going to put the pressure on Blue Hills, and this game might be out of reach. Roberts!
They faked the handoff to Gardner. Roberts took it.
Ball carrier.
Matt Roberts has come alive the second half and really spurring the wheels on. Another first down by the Whalers.
Sylvester combined for the stop for the Warriors.
Hey, let's see where they're spotting the ball. Is it inside the 10 or outside the 10? Looks like it's right on the 10. I'm not sure they can get a first down. I can hardly see the spot. The looks like it's right on the 10. So the Nantucket cannot get a first down here, and the sun comes out. Something we haven't seen for about 4.5 days. First and goal to go from the 10-yard line, Eric.
Okay, Jordan side split left.
This time they're waiting for Garner coming back on the crossbuck series.
Gardner got hammered there.
76 Alex.
He's all right.
And number 51 Brad Chambers.
Yeah, big hit by Alex Jasic. He was the Blue Hills defender that got hurt on the kickoff, but he's back in there. Alex puts a big hit on Chris Garner to keep Blue Hills' hopes alive here. We have about 7.5 minutes to go. Nantucket is threatening to break this one open. Ball on the 10-yard line after the no gain by Gardner.
Pitches to Gardner. Cuts inside.
Let's see for the call. It goes up, finally. It went into the corner down there. That's out of my viewing area, Eric. I couldn't see it.
For 25, Chris.
I'll tell you what, Chris Gardner has a nose for the end zone. He cut back inside. There was nothing there and bounced it out to the corner and just reached the ball across the plane. And the Whalers have taken a 12-0 lead. Expect them to go for 2.
At halftime, Eric, when you were out delivering your nectar to everybody, we were talking about Chris Gardner scoring 3 touchdowns in his first 3 games, the hat trick in each game, and we said, you know, it's going to be quite difficult for him to duplicate that. Well, he's already got 2, and we still have 7 minutes to go, so maybe, just maybe, it might happen. Treby rolling.
Under pressure. Can't quite get the ball to Ferrantella.
Treby's 2-point conversion attempt intended for number 86, Ferrantella, is incomplete.
So Gardner has scored on a 10-yard run and a 60-yard run. And again, Gardner in the first half, sort of like last week's game with Central Falls. Gardner, today's first half had 9 for 38. He's got about 80 yards already in the second half, so he's over 100 for the 4th straight week. And with his second touchdown, the Nantucket defense has to be really fired up now. They're kicking off into the win, but they have a 12-0 lead, so they know Blue Hill has to score twice. We see the Nantucket cheerleaders passing in front of us. They're getting excited here, getting downfield, ready to cheer on the kickoff.
Okay, so Coletti again to kick it off. They will have the holder.
This time with the wind. Blue Hills, some of Blue Hills' options are taken away as Blue Hills has to make up the 12 points going into the win. Nantucket kicking off with the wind at their back. Remember, this kickoff brought to you by Peanut Bus Lines, the official carrier of the Nantucket Whalers. Peanut Bus Lines. Give David a call, 508-428-2062.
And you can assume that Coletti will keep his eye and his head down on this kick.
Yeah, Rick Sirocco out there holding for him. Anthony wants to redeem himself now. He'll get a good foot into this one. And it doesn't go 10 yards again. Blue Hills touch it though. Let's see how they rule this. It's not an onside kick. If Blue Hills touched it, it could be Nantucket's ball. If Nantucket touches it first, Blue Hills gets good field position. All the Nantucket fans on this side are yelling it should be Nantucket's ball, and it goes to Blue Hills. So they're saying that Nantucket touched it first.
That's right. That's 10 yards. Blue Hills will take over on the 50-yard line.
Worry about it now. Get up.
We're getting an explanation here to Vito.
If any of the officials from the Mayflower League were listening to that was not really boos you heard.
They were saying you
They were
made
going,
the correct call.
you. They were saying, good call, sir. Good call, sir.
Since sir rhymes with boo so well. Okay, so Blue Hills will pick it up on the 50-yard line, 1st and 10, 7:06 to go in the game, 12-0 Whalers. Oh, there's the first flag of the game.
Yeah, that came out late. The Blue Hills slot back definitely went in motion, leaning forward and moving forward. I thought they were going to let it go. The guy on this side of the field, right on the line of the play, lets it go. It's the backfield call, and he makes the call. And we have the first penalty of the game.
Yeah, not a flag you normally see come out of the backfield for that call. But it's going to knock them back 5.
So first penalty of the game. Blue Hills hasn't punted yet, right? They went for 2 fake punts. And Nantucket punted twice for a 55-yarder and a 5.
25-yard line, first and 15.
And unofficially, Nantucket has tried 2 onside kicks, right?
I believe so. That is the official word.
We got that right from the bench. Kyle Patterson sent that up.
So 1st and 15 with the penalty. Nantucket trying to fire up their defense. It's going to be a pass. And picked off.
Did he catch it?
I believe they're going to give it to him, yes.
Chris
Gardner, I'll tell you what, from here, it looked like he caught it, might have bobbled it and caught it as it was sandwiched between Chris and the ground, but they're going to give it to him anyway.
Chris Garner gets his second interception in 2 weeks. He had one last week against Central Falls. He actually had one last week that he ran back, Eric, but it was called back. Garner had 3 touchdowns against Central Falls and 2 more called back on clipping penalties.
I'll tell you what, all summer long when Chris was writing sports for the Beacon, we'd go out and we'd practice that play in the parking lot. I threw him those deep routes, and we were going up. Sean Kalman was the receiver. Chris was in on the defense, and he made that interception.
Roberts up the middle. Eric, Channel 3 doesn't have much time after the game. We want to head right back to the boat. But we are going to take you down the field, and I want to see you throw a football 25 yards down the field into the wind. Not with the wind. You're not going to have the wind. You're going to throw it into the wind, Eric.
No, but a great play by Chris, and that gives the Whalers the ball, and it gives Chris the chance to maybe get his 4th 3-touchdown game. 6:03 to go, 2nd and 4. There's a deep throw. Oh!
Looking for Mickelson.
Mickelson almost got behind the defender. In fact, he did, but the ball was a little bit overthrown.
Yeah, Hunter gets down there and gets covered and sort of slows up, sees the passes in the air, and makes a lunge for it. Stops the clock, 5:57 to go, 3rd and 4. Nantucket, more important, is holding a 12-0 lead here, Eric, and they get the wind at their back, so they won't mind punting here. Let's see if they go to the run or the pass. They're going to go to the Gardner for the draw, the play that's worked all day, and it's going to come up about a yard short.
Chris came down hard on his shoulder, his left shoulder. Looks like he's a little shaken up, but he's all right.
Number 35, Adam Joyce on the stop for the Warriors.
It's going to be 4th and...
Appears to be close enough to call for a measure.
No, they are going to call for a measurement.
It's going to be close.
Looked at the beginning like it might have been a little bit short, but the way they spotted that one.
So, Eric, with the 20-0 Vineyard whipping of BP yesterday, The 12-0 lead of Nantucket. Coach Capiz is going to go for that. Coach Capiz is going to go for that.
Well, you have to go for it on this one. You can sneak it across.
5:41 to go, 2-touchdown lead. Picks up the first down here, can pretty much put the game out of reach. But I'm saying with BP losing the Vineyard yesterday, Nantucket looks like they're ready to knock off Blue Hills today. I guess everybody's going to start marking their calendar for November 23rd, as it's been every year for the past 9 years. The Nantucket Vineyard game is going to produce the Super Bowl participant. Okay, Roberts and Gardner talking. Last time in this situation, they gave it to Gardner. Let's see if Trebby just doesn't sneak it, yeah?
Yeah, and he'll pick it up. First down, Nantucket.
Yeah, I felt the sneak coming there. Gardner and Roberts both talking to each other coming out. He's sort of telling the linebackers they're getting the ball, and Trebby just comes out and goes right ahead a foot. That's all he needed, less than a foot.
Okay, so they're on the 39 now with the 1st and 10, 5:32. The clock's ticking down, so you just keep the ball on the ground now, keep that clock running. Don't turn the ball over.
You don't want to turn it over here, no. And no turnovers today. No interceptions, no fumbles.
One flag, no interceptions, no fumbles. Gardner around the right side, and he almost breaks it after a pickup of about 4.
Quite the opposite from last week in Nantucket. A very dry field, night game, little wind condition, but last week we had, I think we had 7 turnovers in the game. Nantucket had 3 interceptions. Jordan Seitz had a couple of them. I think 4 interceptions, a couple fumbles lost, 2 touchdowns called back on clips, many penalties. I think there were 17 total penalties in the game. Turn it around today here on the wet field, which is getting much drier now. Only 1 penalty, no turnovers. Franco wide open. And all of a sudden, Trebby's found his passing arm.
Nice soft touch to Fraker, who was split left, and they pick up the first down. Ball on the 41 of Blue Hills.
Greg Boggs makes the stop for the Warriors.
Nantucket's got the 8th first down of the second half. Only had 3 in the first half. So the adjustments Nantucket made at halftime, Eric, have done the trick. They got the ball right away. They moved into the wind. They got the wind in the 4th quarter. And to boot, they got 2 quick touchdowns. Matt Roberts, he's been the spark plug here in the second half.
Roberts kept his legs moving and churning, and he's brought down by 3 Blue Hills Warriors.
The number is 76, Alex Jassett, and number 75, Adam Joyce.
I'm just crossing out potentials as we start thinking about our Harbor Fuel MVP.
.330 to go, 2nd and 5 on the 37. Pitch to Gardner.
Here's the halfback pass. He's open. Hunter Mickelson. Oh!
Great defensive play by Paul Reynard. Mickelson was ready to score the TD. Gardner was ready to throw for it. Nice play by the defensive back from Blue Hills.
Paul Reynard made an excellent defensive play. Hunter Mickelson was standing, waiting for the ball to come down, looking like he was going to have an easy touchdown. Chris Garner looking like he's going to have his first touchdown pass of the season. Chris Garner did complete that play once last week.
Throwing again, Trebby.
Ooh, a little pushing at the end of it.
There, no call.
They're going to say the contact came after the ball went by.
It was close. Sights. It has been close. A lot of those plays that looked like they might have been interference. They've been right on top of the player as he's getting ready to catch the ball. So you can't really throw a flag on that because it was so close.
So all of a sudden, Nantucket stops the clock twice here. 3:14 to go. As they're going for the juggler. Vito says he doesn't mind if he runs it up in this game. Not that would bother anybody.
I don't think that one was not a catch that hit the ground, so incomplete. Although the Whalers catch a break with the incompletion.
Pass number 7, Porter Fraker is ruled incomplete.
Had that been a complete pass, they would have had to spot the ball where the tackle was made.
So Coach Capizzo is getting set to go 4-0 here. Blue Hills 3:08 to go. If Blue Hills is going to make a run at this, they got to score in a hurry because they need 2 scores to win the game. 3:08 to go. Nantucket defense, first team defense, Eric, has only given up 1 touchdown all year. That was last week against Central Falls. Altogether, Nantucket defense has only given up 15 points, and this is their 4th game. Curry
almost dropped that ball. Took the handoff, and it looked like his right arm was caught, and he was carrying it kind of strapped to his side for a second, but he holds on, and it's going to be 2nd down.
Number 86, Farentella.
Farentella sends it back for loss. Curry, who opened the second half in great field condition, 1-10-6. And then all of a sudden they had to throw the ball, and then the last series they didn't even give the ball to Moses Curry. Give the ball back to him there, and he looked like he didn't want to run that. The handoff was slow getting to him, and as you said, he almost dropped it. But Nantucket will let Curry run the ball the rest of the game now. 2.5 minutes to go, and the clock is ticking away. Here's the reverse. Franca stays home and makes
Nowhere
the
to
tackle, along with Seitz.
Franca was momentarily blocked, but he fought it off and makes the tackle with Seitz.
Matt Roberts comes in.
Do they have timeouts left? Blue Hills?
Blue Hills has timeouts left, right? They're not. I don't think they're even thinking of that.
Clock's just going right down.
Clock is running. Blue Hills has 4 timeouts, Bob, but as you know, they need 2 scores. So they're letting the game slip away here.
Yeah, making no attempt with 1:40 to go. We'll see if they throw it. There's the big pass rush.
Oh, Lepre! Nick Lepre! Good tackle in the middle there. So the pass is complete, but it goes for no gain.
4th, and we're going to have about 12.
No gain on the play, 4th down.
And this is it. 4th and 12.
The
1
sun
minute to
comes
go.
out.
The sun comes out. Sort of like Vito ordered it, you know? So as soon as the game is over, let the sun shine, you know? Like Red Auerbach lighting up a cigar at the old Boston Garden. And Nantucket is pumped. The fans are all pumped here on the sideline.
The Whaler players raising the roof, as they say.
Delay of the game. And then Blue Hills picks up their 2nd penalty of this game. Nantucket does not have any penalties in this game.
Blue Hills. Warriors in 10 wide, 5 yards.
You would think Nantucket would be the team that would stay in the huddle to have the delay of the game, not Blue Hills. Blue Hills trailing 12-0, stays in the huddle too long, picks up the delay of the game, and it's 4th and 17 now. Blue Hills is going to throw it on 4th down here, trying to get the first down. Oh, they run a little
Don't
draw
throw it.
play. It's a nice little play, but it's not going to go for 17 yards.
So there's going to be 39 seconds on the clock. Now,
Nantucket's going to put their knee down, Eric. They're not going to run a play.
as you said before, though, Vito said he would run the score up on Blue Hills.
Greg Morris saying throw the ball down there.
Nantucket takes over down.
Vito said he wouldn't mind running it up. Not that there's anything wrong with that, you know.
At the Blue Hills 31-yard line.
I did ask Vito what he would do to celebrate, what he would like to have happen if he did win this game, and he said he would like the Pope or to Mike Barnacle to go out on the balcony and read the score of the Blue Hills game, you know. Let's see if Nantucket does throw the ball. And they are in a passing formation.
Oh, they fumbled it.
So we'll never know if they're going to put the knee down or not.
He put both knees down on that one and his head.
That fumble might have saved the relationship because if Tremmy was passing. We have a couple.
Seeing as that relationship is so strong now between Vito and Vin.
We have a couple of votes in here for the players of the game. Nantucket's not going to come out of the huddle. And Nantucket is going to go to 4-0 with a complete domination here in the second half. First half, good ball game, back and forth. Nantucket completely dominated the second half, Eric.
And a big part of that domination was Matt Roberts, who is, we're tabulating the votes now. He is going to be the player of the game. He really got that inside, took control of the inside running game, and allowed Chris Gardner to get some good scores, allowed them to split, get the ball to the split ends there. And Matt Roberts is going to be our player of the game.
Player of the game, Matt Roberts. Maybe Chris Warner can get a quick total on Matt Roberts. We can give it before we go off air. Chris Warner is giving me a dirty look as I said that. Chris, we'll give you some of Eric's Snapple if you can get it for us.
You can have the damn snap. Oh, excuse me.
Eric, this is a family show, Eric. Hey, Mr. Snapple, Eric didn't mean that. Snappy, be nice.
Okay, so the teams shake hand cordially, and Chris Warner
13 for 68.
is telling us that Matt Roberts had 13 carries for 68 yards. And congratulations to the Whalers, 4-0, and a big win.
4-0 Whalers, 1-0 in the Mayflower Lodge, and they step right to the front. And who else but Nantucket and the Vineyard is at the front of the pack. Ever since 1990, through the whole 90s, it's either been Nantucket or Vineyard year in and year out. Every year you hear that Blue Hills is going to step up, as in last year. BP is going to step up as in this year. But each year when these teams have to go against Vineyard and Nantucket, they take a stumbling block. So Blue Hills pretty dejected now, going 2-2, 0-1 in the Lodge. BP here scouting today sees Nantucket whip them. We have some more stats here. We have Gardner 19 carries for 132 yards. So a running game, Eric, that looked like was going nowhere. We have 200 yards right there from Gardner and Roberts, the main part of that running game.
And once again, Gardner able to spring loose for that long touchdown run, which really padded his total. And the running game, as you said, excellent for the Whalers once again.
The Whalers over 200 yards today. I had a punt twice only, no penalties. Coach Capita's going to be very happy with that. Coach Hickman's going to be very happy with that when you can play a game like this under these conditions to pick up no penalties. 4-0 next week, a little bit of an unknown, a team that Nantucket has never played before, a team called Smith out of Connecticut. And we have another stat here from Chris Warner.
Interesting, Dick. In the first half, Moses Curry 12 rushes for 43 yards. In the second half, 5 rushes for a total of 8 yards.
So Moses Curry really shut down the second half. 5 carries for 8 yards, Eric, and if you remember, one of those 5 carries was for 10 yards. So the other 4 carries, Nantucket held them to -2 yards. So the defense and the offense came to play. I would like to mention Matt Roberts, player of the game. The runner-up to the player of the game was the offensive line. I think the offensive line came to do the job here in the second half. They opened the holes. They got Roberts through the middle, and they took a lot of pressure off Gardner. Gardner gets the icing on the cake. First time this year he's held under 3 touchdowns, but he scores all 12 points here, and he'll take them, and I know Coach Capisa will take it. All right, so we thank Inquirer Mirror and Chris Warner for the stats. Bob Laundry on camera, Eric Shacker for bringing us a little Nantucket nectar down from the big city, and you're watching this Monday night. We'll try to get some field hockey. Replay Thursday night too. So you could be watching this Thursday night, folks. So I have a hard time saying it. You're watching this Monday night. You're watching this Monday night or Thursday night. If you're watching it Tuesday or Wednesday night, then you are really confused. It's either on Monday or Thursday. So this is Dick Kerman saying good night from Channel 3.
Salzer puts it out to Nate Barber. Nate's coming up the field. Oh, tied up, but he still has it. Gets it up to Will Salzer, but puts it out about